So it's all downhill from here. And this is just going to be audio from here out. The battery on the camera is running low. I might not be able to make it back. It's been a very long hike. And I'm sort of at a loss, I guess, at this point on my path. The renunciant path, renouncing my associations with the world, it doesn't really seem like it's a viable alternative at this point. Now that I know about this cult inside the governments and Hollywood that has been secretly following me, practically to the point of well, it's pretty crazy, I think. I mean, I really have never heard of anything like this before. It seems unprecedented. I don't know exactly what their justifications are. I don't think that they tell the people that they get involved with exactly, and think sometimes when they're told, they're not told the right thing. I don't seem to be that different than most people. I don't have an email address. I don't seem to be that unapproachable. It just seems very strange that Hollywood has taken the approach that they've taken. And those people on my perch back there, that was the place where I usually sit to work with the energy when there is a threat of seismic activity here in the area, which hasn't been a long time. But those people were making a movie. Imagine that. They had a camera dolly and sound equipment, and the actor had a drum, like a native sort of drum, and it wasn't exactly a look-alike. Sort of the same color hair. But I don't know what it's about. I don't know. I don't want to jump to conclusions. Sometimes the obvious answer is the wrong answer, and I don't want to get paranoid. But at the same time, my life is rather odd, and it's difficult to get the work done that I would like to be getting done. And I've sort of fallen back after the vlogathon failed. I didn't receive, I think, maybe 2 donations during the vlogathon, and they were from people who have contributed before, one of them being my sister. And so that is not a viable way for me to try to support myself. And so I have been doing CG stuff, and I'm considering getting back into that. I'm not going to hire myself out. I'm going to try to maintain my independence for now. I've just been helping JD with a website that I gave him back in, it's been so long now, I don't know when it was. But anyway, he's been supporting me. That's the only reason I've been able to stay where I am, and that's not his choosing. He's doing it reluctantly, and he's sort of struggling with his job and his work. I've been helping him with that, and that's sort of working out. But I feel like I might have to break my disassociation with the government and the tax system right now. I've sort of chosen not to have gainful employment on purpose. I don't feel like anyone should be paying these people taxes. I mean, JD does, and he has a job and does the job thing. I feel like he's a slave, and I think he feels like that too. I think everybody that has that sort of job feels the same way about it, and that's really the reality of the situation. And since he chooses to continue to do that and all that, it's his choice, not my choice. And I'm sort of vicariously maybe contributing, but I don't think the system is going to be fixed anytime soon, and so I don't know exactly what to do. I might have, like I said, I might have to break that. But the other stuff that's seems to be presenting itself is really not a option right now. And there's stuff that I would like, all kinds of stuff that I would like to be doing. Most people's day job would be a huge vacation for me, considering the kind of crap that I deal with and the amount of stress that I'm under with my work that I choose to do, that I think is what I should be doing, and that no one has come forward from the government or one of these organizations to try to help me fund the earthquake forecasting is condemnable. I feel like the government should be condemned, lock, stock, and barrel at this point. I'm so angry at these people who have no vision and no reverence for the human life that is supporting them in the form of their tax money. That I have no respect for these people whatsoever at this point. And I have a lot of very, very, very bad feelings about what's happened with my situation, and it's criminal in my, it's like I said, there's nothing I can do about it legally because of the nature of the legal system and the nature of the corruption. And it's very weird. I mean, it's strange times we're living in, and seemingly, I don't know what it was like before, but there's people who come along, I guess, and sort of change the system in really, really big ways, and that seems to be my lot. And one way or another, it seems like that has happened, and probably will continue. The Arc of Truth thing, that mini movie that they made, sort of hits on many of the big issues that I see with the religions and the implications of the nature of the discovery about the verification of what they call the Babylonian mystery in some schools. The Tower of Babel was supposed to be a tower so high that people could climb into the heavens, and there's a limit on that. And they found it. The Nazis found it with their rockets. And so there's this Ark of the Covenant that is the thing that we perceive as the nature of the spherical world that represents a manifold in time. And the understanding of what happens when something disintegrates on the nuclear level hasn't been integrated into the Western science. And that must happen. I see humanity as losing its sovereignty. I see it as losing its ability to manage its own continuity. And that, from the perspective of, what's happening with the machines, what's happening with the reverence of technology. Technology is being, in a sense, worshipped. It's being put on a pedestal. It's like, oh, we can lie about this stuff in the interest of promoting our technology. We can amplify and extort the significance of the telescope because we have telescopes, and we should, and we should show how important our rocket technology is, and we can do this sort of insanity. And so there's this sort of issue of this creeping into the being itself, into the nature of the being that has not been properly synthesized by the culture. There's been a lot of attempts by Hollywood to present these sort of scenarios with the Borg in Star Trek. It's a Stephen King movie about machines that came to life, and there's the Terminator movie where the machines take over and decide to exterminate humanity. These are all scenarios that, while on some level they seem very fanciful and sort of unrealistic, on some other level are already happening. You've got people who are less valuable than computers. You've got people who, are, slavery is not something new. And, that people believe that that there's a separation there when the consciousness continuity is happening on a level when they are unconscious of it, are not paying attention. They're not paying attention to the reality of the situation. And this is something that, a lot of people have warned society about. And, I'm not just warning, I'm demonstrating on this other level. And so in some sense, what I see is this sort of synthesis of man and machine that is going to be not the evolution, but the revolution of the being. And so there's this transitional form that will be moving into this new phase of cybernetic augmentation, and the fact that that there are machines that can see better than the human eye, can hear better than the human ear, are more sensitive than the human sensory system. These are huge indicators of major changes on the horizon. And while there is the option of God or the solo logos or whatever you want to call it, of completely eradicating this technology, what is more likely to happen is that parts of it will be eradicated, and that parts of it will continue to develop and compress in its complexity, and it's probably going to force humanity into this sort of evolutionary synthesis with the symbiotic tools that it has created in order to survive. And so these scenarios are nuts. And it's the realm of this sort of fantasy world that I work with in the form of the story that I'm working on called The Soldiers of the Future, which integrates this sort of hidden knowledge that I have about these other realms in a fictional, metaphorical way. And so it looks like it's back to that for now. That's sort of what I've been thinking about recently, since Fukushima has been in the background. I mean, it's just blown me over so much. There's a metaphor for this, for the nuclear disaster in The Soldiers of the Future. The Lysons have duped humanity into building these devices that are used to transport their they're basically to demonize, to make the, it's like the Avatar technology, but imagine the Avatar technology imposed on a society where the people in the society were mind-controlled robot slaves, without realizing that they were mind-controlled robot slaves, because of the nature of the technology.